Hola muchachos. This video we talk about the imperfect tense, which is another past tense. We've already talked about the preterite, and so this one is the imperfect. This one is we use when we talk about actions that weren't completed. So a lot of times in English, we'll use phrases like I used to, whatever else we're going to say. That would be the imperfect. Like every Saturday I used to go to the park or used to go to the mall. That's we don't know when that was completed. It's kind of like we don't know when it started or stopped, then it's the imperfect tense. Other times we'll be like I was blanking. So I was studying, or I was working, I was cooking when this thing happened. That would also be the perfect tense. Okay? The imperfect tense. We also use it to talk about how old someone was. So anytime you're describing something in your childhood, like, oh, when I was 9 years old, you're going to use the imperfect tense. Okay? And we also talk about the time, what time it was. Whenever we're talking about what the weather used to be, we use the imperfect tense as well. Remember what time it was? We're going to use ser. How old someone was, you're going to use tener, because we say tener años. And the weather, remember, we use the verb hacer. Okay? Okay, also another thing you'll see in this unit, because this unit we're talking about legends and storytelling and that sort of thing. So you also use the imperfect tense to give background on a story. Okay, so on your vocab there's words like había una vez, like once upon a time, or things like that. So you're saying once upon a time there was a princess who lived in a castle, who had a sister. All that stuff's imperfect. Every single verb in there is going to be imperfect. Then when they switch it off and they say like one day the enemy arrived, now we're talking about a specific day. Now that action was completed, so we'll switch to the preterite. Okay, so this is just a basic overview on the times we use the imperfect. Okay, all right, now let's talk about. No, I don't want to erase that. I'll erase this part. So let's talk about the endings. So let's say we've decided that we're going to put a verb we need to conjugate it into the imperfect tense. So we'll go over the AR verb endings for the imperfect, and we'll go over the ER and the IR verb endings for the imperfect. Okay, for an AR verb, they're a little different, but it's Abba, Abbas, Abba, Abamos. That's the only one that has an accent, because we want our voice to go up right there, not right here where it normally does. And then Aban. Okay, so let's say that we've changed the verb into the imperfect. So let's talk about what that means real quick. So let's say we have the verb jugar. And wow. Kind of switched those around there. My bad. So let's take the verb jugar. Now the other thing about the imperfect tense is that there's only 3 irregulars. Everything else is normal. So normally jugar we stem change to the UE, but in the imperfect you don't. You just use the jug. So I'm going to take off the AR. I'm going to say jug. And if I say jugaba, and again, notice these two are the same, so I am going to have to put a yo there to let everybody know I'm talking about myself. That means I was playing, or I used to play. So you can say like, oh, when I was 10, I used to play on a soccer team. Okay? All right, so that's how these would work with the AR, with the AR endings. Okay? All right. ER and IR, let's do our little chart here. And all of these have accents. So you have ia, ias, ia, íamos, and then ian. Okay? And again, same thing. So if you say comía, yo comía. Let's do this first. That's the preterite. And yo comía. Let's do the differences here. So this yo comí is I ate. Remember that we would use preterite to talk about a completed action. So who ate the burrito? Yo comí el burrito. Like you ate the burrito, it's done. That action has been completed. Yo comía el burrito is I was eating the burrito, or I used to eat the burrito. That sounds kind of weird. Sounds better. I was eating the burrito when this other thing happened. When the bear stole the burrito. Okay? So again, preterite, imperfect. Just a little difference there. All right. Let's do the, we have three. Let's do the three irregulars. The three irregular verbs. So these are for all the regulars, AR, ER, and IR. And the three irregulars are ser, ir, and ver. Okay, let's do ser. See if I can fit them in here. Ir. So to be, to go, and to see. Ver's not really that irregular. It just, we don't drop the ER, we only drop the R. So if we do, let me get a different color here. So if we did this ver, it would be veía, veías, veía, veíamos, and veían. Okay? So the only difference, notice we're going to use, all my endings came from the ER and the IR chart that we just did. It's just that my stem, instead of taking off the ER and just having a V as my stem, it's the VE. So veía, veías, it's slightly irregular, okay? For ir, we have iba. Again, remember, this means I was going or I used to go. Ibas, iba. Íbamos, that's the only one that has an accent. And iban. Okay? Ibais, but we don't use that one. Okay, so those are my forms ir. And then my form ser. Again, here's era. So again, that would be I used to be, or I was. That really doesn't work with the I was being. Maybe I was being a good friend when, I don't know. Eras, era, éramos, that's the only one with an accent, and eran. Okay? Okay, I think that's about it. Those are our only three irregulars. So if it's not one of these three on your homework or on the worksheets or on the test, it's not irregular. So you just take off the AR, add your ABA, ABAS, ABA, one of those, or ER and IR, add your ES, EN. EMOS or EN. Okay? All right. That's the imperfect.